In this video, we're demonstrating how to replace the sensor that detects the sound from the starting gun on a flash timing starter unit. These can become damaged when the starter's pistol is in close proximity to the starter unit, and hot particles can pass through these holes and strike the mylar diaphragm on the sensor and burn holes in it, and that causes the sensitivity to be reduced. The newer units have a screen on it to try to protect this, so it's generally the older ones without that screen that have the problem. And so when the unit, when you take the old starter unit apart, we'll have these features in here to help hold it on the tripod if you're going to mount it on a tripod. And so you'll remove 4 screws from the back, and then that allows the top to lift off, and these parts can come out. If they do, you just put them back in such a way that the hole is lined up in the aluminum piece to the feature in the plastic piece. So at this point, you're ready to try to remove the old sensor. And this is the older units that we originally sold, and these are the newer housings that we're now selling. And your kit will have a screen, a gasket, and the sensor. So to remove the sensor, unhook the cable from the circuit board, and then a twisting motion will typically cause that adhesive to part, and then you can remove the sensor. Sometimes some heat on the back side might help. And once the sensor is removed, you can clean the, we'll also remove the gasket if it's the old small one. If it's a new one and the screen's intact, don't worry so much about it. But you can peel off that. Again, heat helps. And then clean the areas with isopropyl alcohol or some other solvent to try to clean the adhesive residue off the plastic parts. So at this point, we're ready to start putting things back together. The first step is to remove the adhesive protector from the black gasket that's going to go on the front cover. And when that adhesive is off, place the screen that comes in the kit centered basically on as well as you can on that gasket. It's not super critical. Once you have that together, take that assembly, put it in your hand, and then turn the top unit cover over, and then observe through the holes until you got the part pretty well lined up, and then just apply pressure and it will stick there. And once it's turning it back over and press the adhesive down to make sure that you got a good connection. At this point, when you first take the unit apart, you notice on the old starter that you got a cable coming off like at 430, which plugs into the connector. And then when you place it on the top cover, it's going to be upside down, so you're going to be like at 730. Set that there. And then at this point, you can put the units together. So basically, you'll take the top, the main portion of the starter unit, and align it carefully with the holes, and then just place it down until that sensor then becomes with the adhesive attached to the plastic case. And so when this is done, basically things can go back together. So making sure that your aluminum parts are in properly and the hole lines up with the plastic on the cover, and make sure that the connector is reinstalled on the circuit board. Simply place the units back together and install the 4 screws on the old unit. On the new unit, you will if these rubber pieces come off on the side, notice that there are slits on one side of them and not the other, and those slits correspond to some features in the plastic cover that you can see here and here. So you want to put those back in so that those slits line up with the features that sticks up in them, and then place the cover on, making sure that you've got the rubber slots containing the male feature that's on the cover, and then install the 4 screws. And that's basically it. So it's a fairly simple process. The parts aren't that expensive. Help your starters understand that they should hold the gun 12 inches or more apart, and oriented in such a way that the residue that comes off when the gunpowder's it's exiting the gun, it doesn't strike the area where the sensor is. Thank you for using our products. If you have any questions, give us a call on the website or send us email. Those are cell phone numbers. You can send us a text. You can send us pictures. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again for using our products.